This is the 12th annual Civic Engagement Leadership Award and Scholarship Reception. My name is Mary McGuire, and I'm the new this year, Director of the Institute for Civic Engagement. One of the great joys of taking this position over from Richard Kendrick, who created and nurtured the Institute, is that I've really gotten a wonderful opportunity to see just how engaged in this community, in this wonderful city, our citizens are, our students, our faculty, everybody. And I think that's one of the things that makes us great as a community. So congratulations to all of us. I'd like to introduce first Suny Cortland President Eric Bitterbaum. He's going to say a few words.
There are seats up here. Do come in and sit down, please. Or don't. Okay. Well, I want to begin with a thought and share with you, and it's about leadership. And I don't remember who said it, but it was something that was shared with me many years ago. And it goes as following: coming together is a beginning. Staying together is progress. But working together is success. And that's what all of you really have done with the Service and Leadership Awards you're going to get, is all of you coming together and making something happen into this community. But what I would like to share is some additional thoughts, if Mary will let me. This morning I was in Washington, D.C. It was Suny Day yesterday, and we met with some alums. But while I was in one of the Senate buildings, I saw something that I had forgotten about. And for 9 years I lived in Lincoln, Nebraska. And as it turns out, when our son was born 27 years ago, our next door neighbor worked for our current governor at the time, and that was Bob Kerrey. And he actually held David in his arms when David was 2 months old. And as it turns out, he was the president of the New School in New York City, and I was the president of Suny Cortland, so I thought I'd call him and welcome him to New York State. But I want to back up now and share with you something about this amazing man and some of the lessons that I learned from him that I'd like to share with you. So Bob Kerrey grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska, and he joins the military as rises to become a lieutenant, and is shipped off to Vietnam. And he is one of the few living Medal of Honor winners in this country. And as it turns out, as a young lieutenant, they had bad intelligence. They went up the Mekong River, and he knew the intelligence was bad, but he decided to follow orders. And what happened is they were attacked by the Viet Cong, and he lost most of the men that he was in charge of. But what was particularly interesting is that he had lost the leg already. His leg was blown off. He was losing blood. But he had the presence of mind to gather his faculties and to provide extraordinary leadership to the point where he wins the Medal of Honor, our highest salute. And at the time when he was U.S. Senator from Nebraska, he was the only, matter of fact, I think he's been the only person who's to serve in Congress or the Senate who has been awarded the Medal of Honor. But here he returns. He was a pharmacist. He went to the University of Nebraska, and he decides that that experience was so searing and that he was going to live a life of public service. He was going to live a life of leadership, which many of you are going to be awarded today. And so with no political background, he runs for the governor of, you'd think he'd run for maybe mayor or something like that, but he runs for governor and he wins. And he was a marvelous governor. And what was odd is he's a Democrat, and Nebraska is a very conservative state. It's a Republican state. So he was the first Democrat in who knows how long. And then he runs for the U.S. Senate because he believes he can make a difference. Always talking about his moral compass, that he can make a difference. And then after he served 2 terms, he wanted to give back publicly again to work with college students. And so he became the president of the New School in New York City, a very unusual but rather interesting place. And so I called him One, to welcome, one, to remind him that he had held my son in his arms, and then third, to talk about what it's like to be a college president and about his message that he shared with me. And I remember him well, and so I want to share with you that, like that quote about working together can bring about success, that's what he did all his life. But it was always about a vision. I want all of you to think about, can you have a personal vision as you leave Cortland? Will you have a personal vision about how the world can improve? And you have the opportunity to inspire people like he did. He was an inspiration for me. And so these were some of the things that we talked on the phone, and I jotted them down, which I thought were very interesting. So the first thought is probably the most fundamental thing as a human being that you can do is to care for others, as he learned to do after the great tragedy. So caring, being genuine, a very important quality. His other comment that he speaks about often to people is society needs leaders. There are lots of followers, but we need people to step forward. And I really want our students to be our future leaders. I think there are many opportunities by the very examples of you here today and what you've accomplished. Surpass expectations. We may not, or society may not have high expectations of what you're going to accomplish, but I do, your faculty do, and your fellow students do. And so I want to charge you that you do that. Failure, Bob Kerrey would always say, is it doesn't last long. It's transitory. Try again. I can't tell you how many times I've failed in my life, but you keep trying. You keep getting up, as the old saying goes. And that's what I want you to do. And remember to follow your moral compass. If you think something is wrong, then speak up, as he should have done when he was a young lieutenant. He didn't have the courage, and so he lived his whole life to make up for that mistake. And he's still doing, great things, working for a foundation now. You might also remember him because he dated a very famous movie actress. I can't think of her name right now, but she came to Nebraska. Deborah Winger. Your parents will know her. But I remember seeing them in a restaurant kissing, our governor and this famous actress. So who knows, if you become a leader, you may get to kiss a famous actor or actress as well. But the concept is you lead by example. And that's what I want you to do, because in this room is the leadership of this college, and you're going to get honors today. And it's very important to me. So thank you.
Thank you. I'd now like to ask Mayor Tobin to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Really a pleasure and an honor to be here. And this is one of the highlights, not just of the week, but of the year. I know not just for the people in this room, but many people in the community. And it's definitely an honor for me to be here to talk about the contributions that many people have made and are going to continue to make, not just this year, but in the future as well. Cindy Guy and Mayor McGuire, I'd like to thank the two of them for the leadership that they provide, and also Dr. Eric Bitterbaum. Many of you who work at the college know how he is as a leader. Those of you who are students may not understand, because leadership is part of just doing, but it's also putting your money where your mouth is. And Eric has been a tremendous leader, not just for the college, but in the community. Because when he talks about being engaged and wanting to see, he follows up and he does things that allow us to be more engaged, not just here or there, but throughout the community. So it's really a pleasure to have not just the institution, but the fine leadership of Eric Bitterbaum. So I thank him for that. As for the people in the room who are being recognized, I'd like to gear a couple of comments more towards the students. And I noticed that we have quite a variety in terms of who is being recognized today. Year-round community members, students who are here, and first of all, I'd like to thank the students for choosing Cortland. because you're outstanding. You had a lot of options. When you were graduating from high school, or if you transferred here, you probably could have gone to a couple of different places. But you chose Cortland, and you chose to make Cortland your home. And by being engaged in this community, you're showing that it is your home, and that you're contributing in a lot of different ways. And I can this will be valuable for you, not just professionally, because doing different things looks great on a resume, but it contributes in so many different ways. And parents, as you're listening to the different contributions, think about the impact on the people that, the volunteers in this room, who they've worked with, and the impact that they've had, not just on them, but their friends or their family, because it is really, truly impressive. As you go forward, and you are leaders, I want you to continue to be leaders, not just here at the college, but also in the community. And when you graduate, wherever it is that you land, continue to be a leader. And I'll tell you a quick story. There was a young lady in this room a couple of years ago, and she had worked with me. I had a Mayor's Youth Council, and she had volunteered some time to work with me on this. So as we were getting organized, it was February, and there was a week where I was a little bit stressed out. She came in to talk to me. We talked about some things, but she could see that I was a little distracted, not having the best of days. And afterwards, she came back, she gave me a little bit of a note, and opened it up, and basically she gave me some words of encouragement, some words of advice. And there I am, here for the city. I'm thinking about this young lady. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be a mentor. I'm supposed to be a leader. And here she is. She came forward, and that one little act of kindness meant quite the bit. So it doesn't matter if you're organizing large groups of your peers or cohorts, or if you're working with just a couple of people, or if you just look to the person next to you and say, hey, how are you doing? Do you need anything? Find a way to contribute, because that is true leadership. And I thank you for what you have done, and I'm really impressed and looking forward to seeing the wonderful things that you continue to do. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening.
Now we're going to actually begin giving out the awards. If the President of the College will come back up. Our first set of awards are Leadership and Civic Engagement Awards. We've got them divided, you can see on your program, into people's roles in the community. We're starting with faculty and staff. That's an unusual place to start, but we're doing it this year because someone actually has to leave early. So it's not that we value one group more than the other. So first is Anna Maria Sorrenzioni. She's been a strong advocate for inclusion on campus, and she's an active member of Suny Cortland LGBTQAIP committee. Next we have Tony Dorada. He's a volunteer coach with Cortland's Crown City Little League. He keeps things fun while playing to enhance kids' skills, and that's a wonderful contribution to our community. Cheryl Hines is an advisor to the college's Against Cancer Club on campus, promotes volunteer events, engages in Suny Cortland student participation, including Relay for Life and the Big Event. Susan Steiner is coach to Cortland Stingers swim team, a caring mentor as well as a coach, a devoted volunteer mentor with Cortland's YWCA Bridges for Kids. Randy Storch works to improve Cortland neighborhoods and serves on the Economic Inequality Initiative. Deborah Van Langen designed and implemented a service learning course benefiting her students in the Cortland community. She serves on the college's Fitness and Wellness Challenge and crafted a proposal as part of a grant to support local children to be active through dance. to honor our community members, beginning with Doug Bentley. He's a dedicated long-term mentor to area youth. He's served on numerous community agency boards. He's presented an inspirational TED Talk. And you can see him working around trying to keep the city beautiful. Libby Bolton has served as a host teacher to Suny Cortland students, and she teaches Education 355 to our students. She's provided outstanding support for students since 1993 and is an excellent mentor to future physical ed teachers. Jennifer Geigel serves on the United Way Board of Directors. She is president of Portland Association for Education of Young Children, a co-founder of Project Backpack and Joy, and a volunteer and advocacy. Amy Hamilton is a senior probation officer. She mentors youth in need, devotes personal time to engage them in stimulating activities, and serves on local boards and committees. Allison King is president of Portland League of Women Voters. She's founder and member of the Environmental Advisory Board and serves on the YWCA Board and Advocacy Committee. Has served as a host teacher to Suny Cortland students and teaches Education 355. She's provided outstanding support for the students since 2003, and she's an excellent mentor to future education. Dan Mullins serves on a number of boards and committees, including the Environmental Advisory Board, United Voices of Portland, Access to Independence. He's a volunteer counselor and with cancer, and a volunteer with SNAP. Brenda Nobles has served as a host teacher to Suny Cortland students in Education 355, has provided outstanding support for students in the program since 1987, and is also an excellent mentor to future physical ed teachers. Is an active participant in our Economic Inequality Initiative. He helps organize fundraising and other events to promote a better understanding of poverty and health, and a champion for local agricultural efforts. Maureen White has served as a host teacher to Suny Cortland students. She has been supporting the program since 1986. And is an excellent mentor to future physical education teachers. Ellen Wright has provided a forum for the community to learn about and discuss important issues. She serves on local boards such as the Portland Community Service Board. Our next award goes to a group, the Environmental Advisory Board. They conduct research and analysis on environmental issues and solutions, and educate residents and advocates for the Portland community. They've proposed solutions for solid waste management. They've conducted research on the ash for trash issue, and prepared reports and recommendations. So thank you very much. Our next group award goes to Seven Valleys Health Coalition. They supply education, support, resources for healthy living in Portland community. They're responsible for Healthy Now, Way to Go, Portland 211. They conduct the annual Portland Community Forum, Portland Counts. United Voices of Portland educates and advocates for racial justice, disability rights, LGBT equality, and environmental concerns. Our next awardee is going to speak to us for a moment. Her name is Leah Torrey. She helped create a meaningful learning experience in a class, FSA 345, and training students to learn about assistive and adaptive technology. She's devoted personal time to students, demonstrated her expertise in communicating with a speech-generating device, and inspired the class with her self-advocacy and determination.
Thank you. I enjoy being in your class with your students and helping you out. I hope you enjoy the experience as much as I did.
Next, we're going to be honoring our students. Megan Aster is active in the CURE program. She tutors at Berry Elementary School and at a Syracuse school. She works and advocates for children with disabilities and has demonstrated devotion and caring to the children she works with. Danielle Bodner is a long-term volunteer with Portland Prevention Resources. 6 semesters, that's a very long time in the student world. And she serves as a volunteer mentor to local youth. Taylor Kane advocates for student political participation. He's founded the Portland chapter of Students for RAND. He held events such as debates and watch parties to engage students in involvement, and he helped to register students for campus. Alexandra Cicero is an intern for NIPER, and she also volunteers at community agency events, including walkathons and community cleanup. Austin Klock champions support for Portland community mentoring programs. He helped to plan and execute Fun on the Field with the Suny baseball team. He collaborated with local agencies, coordinated team participation, prepared the itinerary, and isn't here today. Danielle Del Alma, assisted lab instructor in kinesiology, assisted editor of Motor and Behavioral Lab Manual, and is a volunteer transfer helper. Natalie DiMiglio volunteered with and raised funds for St. Baldrick's Foundation, volunteered with Portland Loaves and Fishes, hosts table at Pink Tuesdays to promote awareness and raise funds across the country. Allison Garver assumed leadership for 2016 of the big event, met with stakeholders on and off campus to plan this year's big event, promoted the event on and off campus, and engaged other students and recruited volunteers. Kelly Lehman has volunteered successfully with Big Brothers Big Sisters, Habitat for Humanity, NIPER. Ashley Jackson continues to enrich the city of Portland's cultural heritage by volunteering as a musician throughout the Portland community. Erica Lazarus has volunteered and participated in a variety of local fundraising events, including the Special Olympics, Suicide Prevention Walk, Prop Walk, Girls on the Run, and Relay for Life. Dejana LeBron is event coordinator and public relations representative for MOVE, that's Men of Value and Excellence. She's an active participant in the Black Student Union, the Caribbean Student Association, and Women of Color. Amber Lennon served as a tutor inventor with Portland Salvation Army. She contributes to Speak magazine and participated in the American Association's Heart Case. Marissa Lovelson founded the Suny Cortland Mountain Biking Club. She volunteers with Snowboarding Club's annual Rail Jam Club fundraiser and volunteers at Berry School. Lauren Maitlis volunteered and coordinated the Special Olympics, active member of the National Student Speech and Hearing Association. Leanna Murray volunteered with Amnesty International and with Healthy Now program. Kyra Newcomb, Suny Cortland orientation assistant, and volunteered with River Cleanup. Lizbeth Ortiz promotes civic engagement on campus and engages other students. She volunteers for events in the community, including the downtown Halloween party and celebration. Riley Peterson is an after-school math tutor at Virgil Elementary. Volunteers for local events and fundraisers, including Kids Athletic Night, Turkey Trot, Kids Fun Run. Kerrey Rubenstahl founded New Club Portland Wishmakers, put on events to raise money and awareness for children battling life-threatening diseases. Andrea Schoonmacher, Suny Cortland Open House volunteer, participated in Crop Walk, serves on recycling committees, and volunteered for Safe Halloween on campus. Tamara Shannon volunteered with Cortland Youth Bureau and Cortland Prevention Resources LGBTQ Center, has taken steps to acquire diversity training and therapeutic work. Amanda Sharpstein founded and managed Portland Makerspace, providing educational workshops and events. Examples are Lego and Minecraft Club, meeting for children ages 5 and up. Alexis Vilsus advocated for inclusivity on campus, spoke at Black Student Union Town Hall forums, presented at the President's Conversation on LGBTQAIP Literacy Forum, and presented Where Do I Fit in Society? Peter Perkins to come up, and the next set of awardees are people who received scholarships, many of whom were the results of alumni and organization donations to the college. The first one is the Lord Warner Morse TEC Scholarship. That goes to Laura Barnstead. Laura volunteers extensively in the community throughout each semester and is a weekly columnist for the Dragon Company. The Catherine McDermott Lavelle 91 Scholarship for Student Leaders goes to Elise Konikoff. Here today. The James H. and Dorothy A. Sarvey Scholarship for Community Service goes to Emma Lang. The Judson H. Taylor Community Service Scholarship goes to Mallory Jones, Owen Persigian, and Everett Phillips. Tutoring in math and English for grades 4 through 6. Owen volunteers with CSTV CBTV station and works at the Genoa Historical Association. April Attell. Helped with community cleanup in 2015 and volunteered at the Special Olympics. Professor Robert Rhodes and Maxine Cleveland are here to honor a student with the Cortland area chapter of the Alumni Association's Community Service Award.
Each year we recognize a student who has done the most to promote positive town-gown relationships. It's always a very difficult choice, but this year we think we have chosen a real winner. Candace, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Jaimomo.
Candace is a dedicated volunteer with NYPER. She's lobbied in support of higher education, assisted with registering more than 700 Cortland students. The Don Wilcox Civic Engagement Award goes to Candace and to the Cortland Hunger Coalition. Coalition is working to develop solutions to issues of hunger and poverty in Cortland County. They advocate for and educate families on free and subsidized school lunch program and ensure better access to good nutrition. The Peter F. Eisenhart first year Learning Community Scholarship Awards go to Lauren Carlson, Alexandra Cicero, and Ashley Evanchon.
Find the right button on this. Thank you.
The Excellence in Service Learning Awards go to Megan Aster, Elena Batista, Andrew Bush, Danielle Charletta, Alexandra Cicero, Alexis Kane, Carly McUmber, Jessica Moore, and Madison Zizi.
Where's Lexi? There she is. Thanks.
The Excellence in Service Learning Award goes to Megan Aster. I just said this to her. Jensen H. Taylor Leadership House Awards goes to Xavier Campbell, Lucas Christodoulou, Brittany Doherty, Benjamin Hobbs, Candace, thank you, Jamunko, Oni Johnson Hackle, Ryan Kipp, Kenya Ozaria, and Tony Yancey.
Great.
I'd like to ask Greg Scher to make some closing remarks.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to be brief because I leave here and then I go do another reception. I give opening remarks, so this is fun. As I sit there, and I think this is the 7th or 8th year that I've offered closing remarks, and I'm always just amazed, and I think a couple words come to mind. First of all, it's humbling. It's humbling for anyone to see all the wonderful things that people have done. Another thought I have is that how appreciative I am. It's through the work of folks like you, students, community members, faculty, staff, that this community comes together and works. Without that effort, things don't work. And communities, all communities struggle, but it's the work of this group, of folks in this room and others, that helps this community succeed. So I'm very appreciative of that. And the other thought I have is always, I just feel tired. You folks work hard, and I know we all have a lot of commitments and things that draw things that we have to accomplish in our lives. But the fact that you've each put working within this community as a priority and consistently, some of the folks in this room, I know I see year after year, even some of the students have been here before for this award. And that's so motivating. It really is, because you put so much into the place that you live, and that's huge. And for the students, thank you so much. It means a tremendous amount to this community for all that you do. As a community member, I say that. And seeing the breadth of things, the kinds of things that we saw that touch every part of the community. There is not any area that's not touched in some way by the efforts that are put forward by folks in this room. So thank you. I guess the last thing I certainly want to say, I know volunteering and engaging in these activities can be thankless. And I know there's every person in this room who say, well, they don't do it for the thanks, they don't do it for the accolades, but you deserve it. So on behalf of the community, and certainly on behalf of myself and the college, I want to just say thank you. Thank you for all that you do, and please give yourselves a round of applause, because it's a lot of work.
That concludes the ceremony, but one, you should eat the food, and two, if I butchered your name, I apologize. I even butchered Xavier's, who I've known for 2 years, so don't take it personally. Have a good evening, and thank you all for coming.